In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college basketball games happening on March 23, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Washington State versus Iowa State. In the upcoming clash between the 7th-seeded Washington State Cougars and the 2nd-seeded Iowa State Cyclones in the NCAA Tournament's East Region second round on Saturday, anticipation runs high. Having defeated the 10th-seeded Drake in the initial round, the Cougars face off against the Cyclones, who secured a decisive victory over South Dakota State. Never before have these two teams crossed paths on the basketball court, adding an extra layer of intrigue to this encounter. Both squads have demonstrated commendable performances against the spread throughout the season. However, standing at 24-10-1 against the spread, the Cyclones rank 5th nationwide according to TeamRankings.com. Their robust defense, showcased in the opening round, underscores their prowess. Meanwhile, the Cougars struggled to breach the 70-point mark against a middling Drake defense, hinting at potential challenges against Iowa State's formidable defensive strategy, with the Cyclones boasting an unblemished record of 4-0 straight up and against the spread in their recent outings, including an impressive 18-point triumph over number 1 Houston. They entered this matchup with formidable momentum. Foreseeing their dominance, the Iowa State Cyclones to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The impending showdown promises a clash of titanic defenses, with both teams ranked within the top 50. KenPom's rankings place Iowa State at 189th in tempo and Washington State at 313th, indicating a deliberate pace for both sides. With 37 games collectively hitting the under this season, defensive prowess prevails. Iowa State's defense, particularly robust, has limited opponents to under 60 points in 5 of their last 7 contests, maintaining an average of 64 points per game against them. Similarly, the Cyclones' offense has struggled to breach the 70-point mark in 6 of their last 10 matchups. On the other side, Washington State's defense has stifled adversaries, conceding 62 points or fewer in their last 3 encounters. However, their offensive output has faltered, failing to surpass 70 points in 4 of their last 7 games. As the game unfolds, Iowa State's offensive strategy is expected to pivot towards a more deliberate pace, emphasizing defensive resilience. While the Cyclones boast an average of 76 points per game, their focus on defensive solidity remains unwavering. In contrast, Washington State's offensive output averages a modest 67 points per game, indicating potential struggles against Iowa State's defensive fortitude. The contest could evolve into a gritty battle, with both teams showcasing exceptional defensive prowess. Despite Iowa State's superior offensive capabilities, they face a challenge in surmounting the Cougars' formidable defense. Both teams rank within the top 35 in scoring defense nationally, emphasizing the importance of points scored within the arc. Accordingly, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Oakland University versus NC State. In the unfolding drama of unexpected outcomes within the South region of the Division I basketball championship tournament, the spotlight falls on the clash between the 14th-seeded Oakland Golden Grizzlies and the 11th-seeded NC State Wolfpack. Both teams, against the odds, emerged victorious in their previous encounters, with the Golden Grizzlies securing a hard-fought 80-76 triumph over the formidable Kentucky Wildcats, while the Wolfpack demonstrated their prowess with an impressive 80-67 win against the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Looking ahead to their upcoming confrontation, the Golden Grizzlies find themselves devoid of the advantageous matchup they enjoyed in their previous bout against Kentucky's lackluster defense. In contrast, the Wolfpack exhibited a defensive prowess that stifled Texas Tech, holding them to under 25% from three-point range. This defensive resilience suggests that the Wolfpack will pose a formidable challenge for Oakland, potentially limiting their offensive options and rendering them overly reliant on a singular dimension of play. With Texas Tech managing a mere 20 points in the paint against NC State, there's reason to believe the Wolfpack can similarly contain Oakland's front-court threats. In terms of offensive strategy, North Carolina State appears poised to exploit their dominance in the interior. A key focal point will likely be Burns, who is expected to aggressively target Townsend, Oakland's Conference Player of the Year, potentially drawing fouls and capitalizing on defensive lapses. This inside advantage for the Wolfpack could create opportunities beyond the arc for players like Horn, further compounding the challenges for the Golden Grizzlies and potentially sealing their fate in the tournament. Analysis of KenPom's adjusted efficiency margin underscores the significant gulf between these two teams, with NC State boasting a commendable plus 14.12 rating compared to Oakland's more modest plus 3.81 rating. Similarly, the contrast in assist-to-turnover ratios further emphasizes NC State's superiority, positioning them as the more cohesive and disciplined team. While individual performances, such as Golk's impactful contributions off the bench, have buoyed Oakland at times, such reliance may prove insufficient against a well-rounded opponent like NC State. Despite Oakland's recent triumph over Kentucky sparking speculation about their potential as underdogs, the prevailing sentiment suggests that NC State's depth and balance offer a more reliable foundation for success. The momentum firmly favors NC State, and with their impressive form, it seems unwise to bet against them, even in the face of Oakland's historic victory. Thus, the NC State Wolfpack to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full-game side pick. While both teams have demonstrated offensive prowess in recent outings, there are indications that a regression in shooting efficiency may be on the horizon for both sides. This prospect is particularly daunting for the Golden Grizzlies, who may struggle against NC State's defensive length and intensity. With fewer opportunities near the basket, Oakland's shooters are likely to face staunch resistance from beyond the arc, echoing the defensive performance exhibited against the Red Raiders. The likelihood of Golk replicating his extraordinary shooting performance diminishes significantly in the face of NC State's defensive pressure. Anticipating a slower tempo from Oakland, turnovers are expected to be minimized, prolonging their competitiveness and potentially keeping the total score below 147 points. Conversely, NC State's recent proficiency in field goal shooting, coupled with their dominance in the paint, suggests a strong offensive presence. However, the toll of a grueling schedule, playing 7 games in 12 days, may eventually catch up with them, tempering their offensive output. With Oakland's inclination towards a slower-paced game evident in their adjusted tempo and possession length statistics, it's likely they will attempt to dictate the rhythm of play. Should their zone defense effectively stifle NC State's offensive flow, the game could evolve into a low-scoring affair, especially if the Wolfpack persistently target Burns in the post. Analyzing transition statistics from Hoop Math further reinforces the expectation of a slower tempo, potentially influencing the outcome relative to oddsmakers' expectations. Considering these factors, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Texas versus Tennessee. In the Midwest region's round of 32, a compelling clash awaits as the 7th-seeded Texas Longhorns square off against the 2nd-seeded Tennessee Volunteers. Texas secured their spot here by triumphing over the 10th-seeded Colorado State in a gritty showdown, emerging victorious with a score of 56-44, thereby covering the 2.5-point spread as favorites. Meanwhile, Tennessee stamped their authority by dismantling the 15th-seeded St. Peter's with ease, boasting an 83-49 win and comfortably covering the expansive 21.5-point spread. Notably, these two teams crossed paths last season, with Tennessee prevailing by an 11-point margin on their home turf. The reputation precedes Rick Barnes, often marred by underperformance when the grandeur of the tournament arrives, and the question lingers whether this iteration of the Tennessee team possesses the prowess to surmount such historical woes. Additionally, Rodney Terry's tenure at Texas has yielded more Elite Eight appearances within a solitary year than Barnes' 9-season stint with Tennessee, raising doubts about the Volunteers' ability to seize the moment when the spotlight shines its brightest. Despite statistical advantages tilting in favor of Tennessee, delving into off-the-court metrics becomes imperative in this context. Texas appears to possess the ideal concoction for a March surge, boasting 2 adept ball handlers in Abmaz and Hunter capable of igniting and orchestrating pivotal moments on the court. Noteworthy recent performances include Abmaz's 33-point display against Baylor and Hunter's 30-point outing versus Oklahoma. The multifaceted Dylan Dessou adds depth to Texas' offensive arsenal, while Mitchell and Shedrick bolster the defensive fortifications in the post. Texas showcased defensive prowess in their previous outing, stifling Colorado State to a mere 11 points in the first half. Anticipating Tennessee's reliance on neck, Texas aims to neutralize the Volunteers' offensive dynamism, thereby keeping the contest within striking distance. Despite the odds favoring Tennessee, Texas possesses the requisite components to engineer an upset, albeit likely maintaining proximity on the scoreboard. While apprehensions loom regarding the Longhorns' lackluster 3-8 straight-up record against AP Top 25 teams this season, equal concerns arise regarding the substantial margin favored towards the Volunteers. Consequently, the Texas Longhorns to cover the spread as underdogs emerges as the full-game side selection. Turning attention to Tennessee's defensive prowess, it stands arguably as one of the premier units nationwide. According to Ken Palm, the Volunteers boast the third-best defense in the nation, conceding a mere 91 points per 100 possessions, trailing only behind Houston and Iowa State. Conversely, Texas ranks 39th in the same category, relinquishing only 98.6 points per 100 possessions. Notably, Texas adopts a deliberate pace, averaging 67.3 possessions per 40 minutes, a stark contrast to the frenetic tempo witnessed in their clash against Colorado State. Given their underdog status, Texas aims to employ a similar defensive blueprint, curtailing Tennessee's offensive output while capitalizing on their interior presence to consume valuable seconds off the shot clock. Tennessee, equally adept defensively, demonstrated their prowess by limiting St. Peter's to under 50 points, underscoring their efficiency on that end of the floor. As the win-or-go-home stakes heighten, anticipate a methodical tempo with both teams exerting maximum effort defensively. With regards to the total, the projected figure appears somewhat inflated, making under the projected total our full-game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.